the realisation of 8-9 months ago I was never going to play AFL again. She understands from being a player last year, and especially probably for females, you just want to feel valued.
Welcome back to the Dubya podcast. Today on the show, we have an incredible guest lined up to you. We are speaking to Jess Hosking from the West Coast Eagles. We're going to review a huge opening round of the AFLW season. But, Rosie Deegan, we were at Mineral Resources Park on Friday night. How fantastic was that atmosphere? It was a 1-point win.
I was telling you, I was on the edge of my seat. I had the fans next to me because I'm one of the fans.
We are the fans.
We are the fans. And I was out there, and it was electric. When Richmond kicked that goal to go in front, hadn't seen the lead all game. I'm there, hand above my head. I'm like, they've lost it. The young group's gone down in the last minute. And then Kelly Gibson out the back.
Wasn't she amazing? And I love that she was so smart. She ran the clock down, like 30 seconds to go. How tempting would it be? Grab that ball, snap a kick because you want to get the lead. But she used her brain, didn't she?
No, see, that was smart. I was thinking about, like, I put myself in the shoes. And I said, I've just has the possibility to kick the winning goal. You best believe I'm running into an open goal, kicking that ball so high and then getting near the crowd. So I'd like to just compliment her composure and lack of ego. Because I think for a lesser person like I, straight kicking that goal and probably losing Eagles the game.
What a cracking opening round. And I guess for West Coast Eagles who have struggled for success in the past, getting that first win, the Daisy effect is in full force. We saw that. But let's go right now to our guest this week. She had an incredible game herself, kicked 2 goals and 1 behind against her old team, Richmond. Let's welcome Jess Hosking. Jess, thanks for coming in today. We were both there at the game on Friday night. It was absolutely electric. What was it like from your perspective on the field to get that first win?
Yeah, like you said, it was electric. I think I go back to it and I just couldn't wipe the smile off my face, and we were just having fun. And I think after everything that you put together in pre-season to be able to come out like that, and I think we started the game well, and when Frankie kicked that first goal, we all just had smiles on our faces and we're like, yeah, we're on here.
We could be in for a shout. What did you think when the fourth started rolling around? Richmond got a little bit up and about.
Yeah.
Were you panicked or no?
No, weirdly, like as soon as they kicked the goal to go in front, I actually didn't feel like we were going to lose. Like I didn't know how long was left on the clock. I think I hit a point when there was 15 minutes or it had hit 15 minutes, and in my head I was like, oh my God, the game's about to finish. And then like someone else told me there was still 3 minutes. I was like, oh no, we got this. We're all right. So it was a weird feeling, I think, knowing that they had gone up, we'd led for the whole game, but it was like, all right, we've practiced this and we've worked on this situation, and like we did, the girls just came out and we were able to control it a little bit better and, get that goal, which was nice.
Prior to this season, you've kicked 2.5 career goals. So 53 games and you've only ever kicked 2 in those 53 games, yet you come out and you kick 2 and 1 behind. How much of that was this motivation to show up your own side? Or is this your new position? Are you just loving getting up forward and getting the ball?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to say it was to shove it up my old side, but it really wasn't. Like, honestly, I love Richmond and love the girls and the staff that are at Richmond. So I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that I got there. But yeah, I was more a backline and wing player. So anyone that knows backline is you barely get the ball, and when you get your chance on kicking a goal, it's not often that you do. So I didn't kick one when I was playing backline, and then wing is kind of a netball here if you need.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting used as the winger, then you're probably not going to get as dangerous. And I used to probably play the wing position a bit more defensively. So I think I've been given a bit of free rein at West Coast, and what our coaches are allowing me to do is just bash, crash and do the things I'm enjoying. So it's crazy what happens when you're enjoying football, and I think those goals probably come from the enjoyment and being able to celebrate with the teammates.
Tell us about the bash and crash bit, because Rosie saw something.
I was explaining to Seabass, I was like, I saw a little bit of tension between you and Monique Conti. And then I realised you were old teammates. And I was like, yeah, the scuffle was down on the ground and you guys were on the ground a bit longer. And the ref's like, all right, guys, like, get up. And then it was you two came up, like, smiling. I was just wondering how they were feeling.
It was actually no scuffle or anything.
Mm-hmm.
As we've gone down and I've tackled her, she actually, she's put her hand over her head and goes, "Are they giving me the free kick? Are they giving me the free kick?" And then I've cheekily said back to her, I won't swear, but, "Oh, you little, you got the free kick." And then so we were joking about it as we got up. And I love Moni. She's an incredible athlete, but we spent KB's wedding out in Palm Springs and Mexico in Palm Springs and LA together, and we've just got a
So you
good
were laying
friendship.
the groundwork there.
It was just
talking a bit of
friendship.
smack.
I think I heard her. Well, I didn't hear it, but one of my teammates came up to me after I kicked one of the goals and said, "I have the most amount of respect for Mon Conti after what she just said. You've just kicked the goal, and Mon has whispered, 'Yeah, go girl, you get it.'" And it's like, for other teammates or ex-teammates to be able to do that while you're on field is pretty shows it's pretty special, and you've got that connection still.
Yeah.
There was a big matchup that we missed out on seeing, devastatingly so. Did your sister get injured on purpose so she didn't have to play against you, do you think?
Yeah, I think we're the new Mackay brothers, or is it Mackay? Yeah, Mackay brothers. I say that Sarah was a bit soft and she was too scared to play against me, so that's why she pulled herself out for round one. But no, she unfortunately has come off the back of a hammy reattachment surgery in the off-season, and she tweaked it a little bit through pre-season, so she just wasn't quite ready to build into round one, and she missed the pracky matches, so it was a bit sad. The whole family came along and she wasn't there, and I don't know if you guys know, but the longest we had spent apart before this season was 3 weeks in our life, so we're at this really weird point that I guess Friday night was kind of our meeting, our catch-up, our reunion. And it's been this really weird feeling that, like, for the first time we've got uncertainty of when we're actually going to see each other, and that we've got this weird twin telepathy thing that we just can't explain to other people. And they're like, "Oh, you'll see her, like, in a couple of weeks." And it's like, no, it's not that. Like, I just don't know when we're going to see each other or hang out, and, it's just weird.
How hard was that, I guess, when you got delisted by Richmond and deciding to come over here, because you haven't spent any time away from each other at all? So was it tempting just to stay close to stay in Melbourne, try and pick up another contract there, hope maybe an injury replacement came up? Like, tell us about how that all came about.
I had the biggest gratitude moment on Friday morning, and I've woken up and I was like, oh, geez, what led me to this moment today? And the realisation of 8-9 months ago I was never going to play AFL again. And I think at that point when I did get delisted, it was kind of off the back of I probably didn't put in the 100% that I probably could have as an athlete. So that's nothing towards Richmond and being pretty unlucky with some injuries. I was just on a little spiral of not being able to give everything I could, and I was still working outside. So again, needing to give that 100%, I probably wasn't giving the 100%. So as soon as that happened, I was like, if I get another chance, I will give it everything I've got. And that realisation was, well, that's moving away from family. That's not working outside of footy. It's just pure focuses on what it is to be an athlete. So I think I've done that coming over, and they're the sacrifices that I guess I was willing to make at the time, and I'm forever grateful for Days and George and West Coast for taking the punt on me. And I was actually stoked that it was interstate, and when I did speak to West Coast, caught up with Geordie in Melbourne for brekkie, and then Days had called me as soon as she signed on, and just had some good conversations, and I just said exactly what I just said, and that I was willing to give everything. And luckily they called and said, look, don't worry about waiting for the end of the trade period, we'll just sign you now. And I was actually out at my friend's farm in Top Hut, so I didn't have great reception. So I was out mustering some sheep, and I'd get back and I had like 5 missed calls and stuff. I think I'd had a couple beers, so I was already excited, and it just, it was I remember it vividly when it happened, and again, just very, very grateful for the opportunity.
Has it been almost like a fresh start for you? And I guess, what have you changed about what you were doing over in Richmond? You said, you probably weren't giving it 100%. What has been your focus now? And has it been scary putting all your eggs in a football basket?
Yeah, I think, again, my changes have been that 100% commitment into football. It's really hard. Like, I've gone from a contract where I had a little bit more money to sitting on $55,000. I've got 2 mortgages, and if you do the maths, that doesn't fit into the piece. But the understanding that, like I said, I was going to give everything to being an athlete, and I'm incredibly lucky and grateful that I've got a lot of support around me in helping me. And again, where I'm living at the moment, I'm incredibly grateful to the Petries for taking me in for the season.
But they've got a full-time babysitter. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a good win for them.
I'll pay my ways with the babysitting. It is. It's something that you've got to realise, and sometimes once something's taken away from you, you can learn a lot from it. And I was probably just very lucky that I did get another chance to go after it once I learnt the lessons. And it's just the commitment and dedication to what it takes to be a full-time athlete. It's not being a part-time athlete, I guess. You to work outside and give it everything else. I was doing night shift on the rails, and immediately when you say night shift, it's probably not great for your sleep. And while I thought that was best for me at the time and it was keeping me above board and paying my mortgages, it wasn't the best for my football. And it's taken a little bit to learn that, but I'm very grateful that I have.
Yeah, so you spoke about Daisy and giving you the opportunity. There's been chat, there's been every article talking about Daisy's aura. Would you agree? Does she have a certain type of aura that's really changed the Eagles culture?
Yeah, she does. I think I go back to like the first week that I was in at Eagles, and I think I forget my age sometimes because as I've gone in, we're in a drill and Daisy's joined in the drill, and I had screaming girls next to me being like, "Oh my God, it's Daisy, look at her lace that kick out." And it was just like, these girls have grown up with Daisy or watching Daisy, and they almost had the fangirl moment. So the respect was already there from, oh my God, this presence has come in, let alone then the care that she has for the players. And I think that's something that she's been able to bring. She understands from being a player last year, and especially probably for females, you just want to feel valued, and her ability to make connections amongst the players individually but also to the staff and the wider club. I don't know how she finds the time to do it on top of having 2 kids and a hubby at home. That I'm in awe of her and what she's been able to come in and do with this group. She's just got so much respect and just the ability to bring everyone together, and we're having fun.
You could see it. I mean, as soon as she was celebrating, then came down to the girls. It was as if she was a teammate. She was like one of you, like having that experience. Like I don't think I've seen many coaches have that type of connection with their playing group and like being that, like almost like one of them at the same time. Like she's like one of you. She's going through it. She's like as if she's on the field with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's just so aware of every situation. And I actually spoke to her before the game, and I was like, "So, what was your pre-game playlist like? Did you come in today and was it the same as what you were last year?"
She's got a pre-game hype on the way. Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, it was a little bit different, but I was listening to Gaga and."
She's showing her age. She's showing her age.
She was listening to what's that movie? Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Star is Born.
Yeah. So she's got that as a pump up on the way in as a
pump
coach.
Up. So. What song in there is a pump up?
I don't know. But no, the celebration that we were able to do at the end, and I think we all saw her come down, and just knowing like she has moved her whole family. Like she wouldn't uproot her life to come over if she wasn't fully invested into this club, into these players. And I think that moment was probably one of those that was just exciting to celebrate with her as well, because after that hard work in the preseason, it's like, all right, we hope we've done you proud, and to be able to celebrate that win as her first win as coach as well. Got to have a Gatorade shower.
Yeah, naturally.
It was funny. I got to talk to Kelly Gibson after the game. Obviously, she kicked the winning goal, but I said, how great was it to win that first game for Daisy? And she goes, Daisy's so used to winning. Like, she's just a winner, but she's teaching us to win.
Yeah.
As someone who's, had a bit of success in their career, to come into a club where they have really struggled, how important is it to learn how to win?
Oh, it's massive. And I think, unfortunately, where the girls have been previously, there is almost like this little PTSD about losing, and they are kind of used to losing. And we've had so many open, vulnerable conversations around that. And we look at them where they finished last year and probably the year before, and down the bottom of the ladder. And the girls, we're going into this season, and we've got a bunch of new girls, and even Vezi, who's come across from Fever, she's like, winning mentality is up here. Days was like, I went into every game being like, we're going to win this. I do the same. I'm like, there's no game you can't win. And a couple of our girls are like, we just want to do better than what we did last year. Like, we probably might not win that one. We might not win that one, but how do we be competitive? And I'm like, what is that? Like, as an athlete, you're like, go, go, go. But I think that realisation is something there's a bunch of us that have got that mentality of we can win anything, but it's trying to bring those others along and teach them and help them to be like, no, just because you have lost this in the past doesn't mean you're going to lose this today. And Day's had a great analogy of, I think it was something about you can win games, but all you need to worry about is the one game that you're playing that week. So you might not be better than a team, but if you're better than the team on the day, that's all that matters for that one. So I think there's a few of our girls that have taken that on board and finally realised, okay, we can do it.
Because how hard is it in a competition or a series where you only have 11 games? So, dropping a couple of games does make it really hard in the back end of the season. So you do have to treat every single game like a final, don't you?
Yeah. I even look at Charlie Thomas, for instance. Like, you look at how amazing she is as a player and her mindset. And after that conversation we had as a group, I was so proud because Gemma Bastiani came in and had a look around the club and spoke to a lot of players and was doing an interview with Charlie, and she started asking the questions and then said, okay, so what do you think we can see from West Coast? Where are you going to finish? And she hesitated, and then she's like, nah, you can see that we're going for the flag this year. We're going for the cup. We might not win it, but we're going for it. And that was already a massive mindset change in her. So you see that difference in the girls, and it's just like they're growing. You tell them something and they're learning something that I've seen people learn in 2 months. They're learning it within a week. So it's just massive growth from the group.
Get the home improvement the whole country is talking about. Complete home filtration.
It's a water filter for the whole home. That means you'll experience not only better tasting drinking water, but also healthier skin and hair, reduced scale on the shower screens, prolong the lifespan of your appliances, and so much more.
Complete home filtration has tens of thousands of happy customers, and you'll be raving about your water from the first drop.
Visit completehomefiltration.com.au now to book your free in-home consultation today. That's completehomefiltration.com.au. Tell us about your debutants, because they were pretty impressive the other night, weren't they? Who did you like the best, Rosie?
I thought Vez could find... We obviously had Vez on just before last week, and I thought she found the ball really well. For someone who's coming in on a rookie contract, she had 10 disposals, but she was finding it. And she was, getting it out. She was getting some clearances.
Yeah. Vezi's, she's my locker buddy, so we have a good amount of banter. But
we heard you guys are calling her bougie.
Yeah, she is bougie.
Girl.
She's walking. We're at camp, and everyone knows you're at camp, and you're probably in your trackies and your comfies. Vez walks in with her hair done, a fluffy jacket, and just rocking around like she owns the joint.
Princess netball.
Yeah. But no, I think Vezi did amazing. I think she got 7 tackles as well, and that's another thing that she's been learning in the off season. Obviously, me coming from netball as well, people turn around saying netball's a non-contact sport. My ass, but
as a basketball player, I will say I have criticise netball in such a way continuously.
But no, she played her role, and I think that's something that, I think she exceeded her role, but she did. She found the ball. I can't tell you, from her first day coming into the club, watching her try and kick a football, try and mark, and try and do AFL things.
Hey, mate, this should give you hope for your transition.
I know, right?
I have never seen someone pick it up so quick. And being around for the 9 seasons, I've seen a lot of rookies that have come in, and none of them have started probably at the level that Vez started, down the bottom. And I don't mean that in a bad way, and she will happily admit to where she was. But the growth that she has had in such a short amount of time, her standards are elite. Like, she's come from a winning culture, she's come from a losing culture, so she's learnt everything along the way, and she's just adding so much insight to these girls. And to see her pull on the jumper on the weekend, or on Friday, was I got emotional for her, because I'm just so proud of her journey. And again, coming from a different sport, to be able to do that, it's just, yeah, very, very proud.
Tell us about, we saw some interesting goal celebrations, not just from your team, but across the entire league. Is that something you practice at training? Like, tell us about, and can you explain some of the goal celebrations that we saw from your team on Friday night?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
A bit of this?
I did,
Give it this one.
Yeah, that one's a big one. So when I came into West Coast, they spoke about someone's house, or Gibbo's house. So when she does that, it's normally she's kicked the goal and it's Gibbo's house, or other girls will run up with the house symbol. So that's kind of funny. I think we had a couple. We found out, I asked the girls to do a fun fact one session in pre-season, and I said, you have to bring this to our game or autumn game and tell us on the day. And Gibbo was like, oh, but I got one now. I'm going to tell you. And so she's like, I can clap one-handed. So she's doing these ones. And then it became like we're all doing this. And then everyone's turned around saying, you kind of look like an eagle trying to flap, like we're just getting out. So I think mine, at one point I was doing this, but it's kind of become across the preseason. We see our coaches are coming out and they're doing these ones, and it's like, this is good.
This has gotten out of control.
Yeah, so I think we've got a young group. They relish in celebrating and enjoying moments, and I think when you can celebrate and enjoy moments and do some of these goal celebrations, it really does bring people together. So I think that's one thing with AFLW, and probably this season you'll see more of. They probably have the reins to have a bit of fun and bring that into the game. So I mean, some of them you look at and sometimes they're a little bit cringe, but at the same time you love it. Exactly.
If you commit fully, you
it takes
usually
courage,
find.
doesn't it?
Exactly, a lot of courage.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if we were going to do a goal celebration, what do you want to see?
Well, so we were talking about in our respective sports, like you couldn't do a goal celebration in netball or basketball because you'd just be doing
Yeah,
it constantly.
that would
Or
be-
the song that you play after a goal, like that is really cool. It just wouldn't work in our
Imagine
sports.
that, just like you have a person like Steph Curry's got 36 points and just continuously just playing like a country song every like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I think
Just-
regardless, the celebrations are great, but you just can't injure yourself because there's
Oh,
been nothing
yeah.
worse than someone doing like a high kick and pulling a hammy,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you know, like I love when you see people
You
go
gotta
to
keep it
high
within-
five each other and they
yeah.
high five their
You got to
faces.
keep it within the box. There's like certain limitations
Yeah.
that I reckon.
I actually had so my goal celebration song was Chicken Fried.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
that. I was like,
okay.
what is the country
Why?
theme coming
Why?
through Eagles?
I actually I had surgery on my ears on Friday, the Friday before. So my hearing's not great at the moment. I've just had grommets and had infections. So as I've kicked it, I didn't hear the song. And so it's taken me the whole way until I walked back to the middle of the ground after celebrating with my teammates. And then all I hear is little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Did you hear your teammates at all then in the lead up, like before you had your
The
ears
pre-game
fixed?
speeches,
Just
she's just
everything where
nodding.
you just like
You know what's bad is, like, I think it was on the Monday. So I thought, I was kind of told it'd be 3 days, you'd be all good. And optimistic me was like, yep, we'll be fine. We planned it so that the Friday I'd train in the morning, have the recovery, be able to train on Monday. So that's what I was expecting. And I didn't quite realise the impact it would have on me. And I actually ended up speaking with our doc because I had sensory overload. So he was, my ear was all red, it was swollen, but then I was getting like these reactions that were like no other. Certain pitches were making my hands tingle. My dad's voice was one of them. So unfortunately, he came over and just him talking was giving me tingles at the back of my head and like tingles in my hands. So I had to shove cotton buds in my ears, and then I was wearing noise cancelling headphones for the whole week at the club. So in the lead up to round one, it's not kind of what you want to do, but we were getting all the debut announcements, and like you said, we
You're just
had
in the
so
back
many.
with the head.
There's actually a video of Jess Wrench getting announced in our team meeting, and I'm sitting at the back of the room with my noise cancelling headphones on, and I just I couldn't hear anything. It was just
really good at lip reading now.
Oh yeah.
No, mate, Jess is looking back at me like, she's not very happy for me, is she?
Yeah. Oh, the poor things. Like, we've got such a young group and up and about group, but walking into that club on Monday, I was in sensory overload and just screaming, yelling. I actually, like, the toll it took on me, I trained on the Monday, but I was in and out of meetings because I couldn't sit there. But I trained on the Monday and I was actually crying on track, and then by the leaving track or walking off, I was bawling my eyes out. And it wasn't because I wasn't angry or anything, but I now have this respect for people that say they can't sit in so much sound and stuff, because what it did to me, I have not had that response ever and have never really understood the it's too much sound going on. I was like, come on, it's not that bad. But this was next level. So each day was getting better, and by the time that Friday rolled around, I was able to take the cotton buds out of my ears and
sing the team song and hear at the end of the game. Well, since you've segued so perfectly into music, I had to. And I brought this along for you. And Rosie also has one and I have one. And we're hoping that you could give us a lesson.
Okay.
First of all, can you explain? I did recorder for many, many years.
No, see, that's as good as it.
Never, ever, ever once did I ever attempt to play the recorder with my nose. How did that come about?
Well, it's actually kind of a cool story, but I was born with a cleft lip and palate. So I had a hole in my lip and a hole in the roof of my mouth, and it went to the back of the roof of my mouth. And as a kid, the hole was closed over, but then there ended up a little fistula. So it was a little bit of air that would escape to my nose. So when I actually tried to play it through my mouth, it was like not working properly. So it was just, so I was like, oh, well, okay, if my mouth's not going to work, let's try the nose. And then all of a sudden it
Wait,
worked.
maybe you could have done this and played, but then you need two fingers. So I get it. The nose does make sense now.
Yeah.
So is there certain songs, because I tried to practice the Eagles theme song.
Yes.
It's very hard. And this although it looks very expensive, it came from the $2 shop, and I don't think it actually has many
just
notes.
give it a little tester.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's insane.
I'm going to teach you Twinkle, Twinkle, Little
what
Star.
tips have you got for us?
Actually, hot cross buns.
Yeah.
You only need one hand for this one.
Or three blind mice.
Look at me.
We're gonna keep the thumb on the back
Oh, yeah.
the whole time, and you're gonna start with your three. And wait,
Do you have a preferred nostril?
no, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, are we going through the nose?
Yeah, you guys are going through the nose.
I can't even
Give it a go.
So, fun fact again.
Yes.
I did get stitched up with a recorder, but it ended up being that I had two recorders. So I was like, oh my God. I got up at Waffle Awards and I've done the one recorder. Next year I'll come back and I'll do the two. So I've taken the two home and I've tried to do it, and the recorder doesn't fit up my right nostril.
I want to see you do three. I want 1, 2, and then in the mouth.
Okay, so we're going to do hot cross buns. It goes 1, 2, 3.
I'll go a left nostril and see how
I don't know.
So you're one finger first.
Yeah. I feel like I should have blown my nose.
Maybe, preempt and blow your nose to prepare.
Play now.
Okay. And then you repeat it.
Mate, you're banned. You're banned.
This was not bubble.
It's like, I'm up there. That's pretty good.
I don't know we could do a duet.
That's my first time.
Nah, I want to play
Vass,
the Eagles
you're on.
theme song.
Okay. Oh, she can do it.
I told you, she's worked on it.
Now do it up your nose.
Oh, I'm going to do the snot bubble nose this time.
She gets
I'm going to go.
You're banned from nose recorder.
So, do you every time you rock up to an event to speak, like on a podcast, do you get given, how many recorders do you have at home now? Because clearly you're taking that one home with you. I don't want it back.
I actually feel like I should start framing these.
You should.
Because this...
Dude, that could be your goal celebration.
Oh, that's not a
No
bad
recorder.
idea.
Boy, just
Not a bad idea.
give us a shout out in your next goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the Dubya.
That's, you know.
All right. All right. If I kick another goal
Yeah.
and I can remember,
Yeah.
I'll do that one.
And your teammates are running up to you. All right.
What are we
No,
doing?
weirdly, like obviously they have all seen the recorder and me and my performance while we were at camp. This is where it came out.
Yes.
So
The single or the double?
I did the single and
Don't want to show them too much too
yeah,
early.
yeah. I was I organised a talent show for all of us and obviously I hosted it, so I got up there to start with and I was like, so I'm not
tough to
shy.
beat.
Yeah,
Tough
yeah.
to beat after that for the rest of the people coming in with their talents.
Yeah, so it's I'm kind of proud of it. It's something that's come out a lot more over in WA, and I just love it.
It's unique. It's interesting. It's special.
Very special.
Very special. It's unique.
I'm very
Media
proud of
loves
you guys
it.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll have to work on it. I'll definitely work on it. I want
I
you to
think I was pretty good. I don't know.
I want you to learn the theme song because that will be the best. Yeah,
There's
okay.
actually a video from Photo Day. I'm waiting for it to surface.
Okay,
I thought it would have surfaced after the win, but maybe not. Maybe it's waiting.
So
for
can you
next week.
play the scene?
I can.
Excuse me.
I actually need. This is weird, but Abby Petrie, who's one of the kids that I live with, I went home and I had said I need to learn this for Photo Day. I've been asked to learn it, and we had probably an hour to learn it, and so she has listened to it and taught me it on the recorder, and I made her play it through her nose too.
Excellent.
But I've written it down in just like
Oh,
the
the
dots.
fingerings.
So
Nice.
if I can see it like that, I'll remember, but I actually can't remember it.
Well, I expect you to go home and do it and then send us a video. That would be really
I'll
good.
send it through.
Put it straight to the socials.
Yeah, actually, I've already got one. I've got one in my hoodie. I'll send it through.
Excellent. Can't wait. Well, thank you so much. Good luck this week against the Bombers. You get back-to-back home games.
you. Yeah.
What are you expecting from them? I saw two of their decent players up front went down on the weekend.
Yeah. Obviously, you never want to see injuries from other teams, and yeah, it's disappointing for them when they go down. But obviously, what their loss is probably our gain, and to have a bruised and battered Bombers to come up against is something that we're kind of excited about. We'll go about our game in the same way that we wanted to, and we want to hunt and we want to be first to the ball and play an exciting brand. So we won't shy away from the fact that they'll be hungry off a loss and no, a pretty big loss in that. But yeah, we'll hopefully get another win and having the home crowd.
That's the
and-
attitude.
No,
Everything,
hopefully
yeah.
you will get another
Yeah,
win.
that's the
Use
plan.
that
Ladies and
mindset.
gentlemen,
Yeah.
listen here.
That's the plan. That's the plan. But no, we're looking forward to it. I mean, we had a great turnout for round one, and off the back of a win, you
An
want to see more.
exciting win.
Yeah, you want to see more people come along. And again, I hope that the brand that we're putting out there is one that people want to watch. And I think people have come out of the woodworks to say, oh, I watched the replay on TV. It was actually really good and it was exciting. I want to come down next week. So I think that's the positive of having a back-to-back home game, that you can start to generate a few more people come along, and you get to work on the things that probably weren't 100% on the day, and our crew at West Coast do the same for all the entertainment and everything around the outside.
Love it. Well, thank you very much. Let's play her off, Rosie.
Oh,
I can't even do it.
I'll join you.
Hey!
There you go.
Pull it out
We
for
got
the big
in.
guns. Well done. Well, who would have thought we would be playing the recorder with our noses today? You were pretty good, actually.
If basketball and football fail me, I've found a new sport. I think me and Jess are going to probably pair up after this. I'll DM her.
Yeah, okay. All
Just
right,
connect.
you slide into her DMs. Let's have a chat about the other games of the round. For me, Fremantle, great to see both WA teams kicking off their campaigns with wins. It's never happened before, actually. It's the first time both teams have won. They had a bit of a slow start, though. Goalless first quarter, but then a huge collision that we saw between two Bombers players really turned the game on its head, and the Dockers actually found some form off the back of that. Ash McCarthy, she had a dream debut in purple, didn't she?
For someone who's obviously like Irish and is like not grown up playing the game, she has an insane sense of the game and just finding the right spots continuously.
Yes, their other Irish player as well, Anya Tai, she was incredible, booted 4 goals. Mim Strom, in her 50th game, she actually set a new record. So for the AFLW, she now has the highest hit-out. She got 48 hit-outs in her 50th game on the weekend, which was pretty cool. And they finished off with a dominant 43-point thumping. But there were some other really exciting firsts across round one that I loved. The first one for me was in the GWS Giants game. So the fastest opening goal in AFL history we saw. Another Irish recruit, Eilish McDowd.
Taken over.
I know. She scored a goal off the opening bounce in 15 seconds in her very first AFLW game ever. Her first touch, and she sets a record.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty incredible. They ended up winning by 63 points. There was plenty of debutants across the league, which was pretty exciting. It was the first time we ever saw as well the new chip technology in the ball get used.
I never knew about this until you were explaining it earlier.
Yeah,
so there's just a chip in a ball.
There's chips, microchips in the ball. They have to charge the ball before the game, apparently.
No way.
Yeah, make sure it's charged. And it's to help mitigate some of the risk around, if it's a touch off the boot, if it's a goal, whether it hits the post, all these little things, I guess, off the last couple of years that female AFLW hadn't had technology-wise, because, the boys have the arc and all that type of stuff. Yes. So the girls had that. And it was actually used in the West Coast game. The ruck from Richmond, Poppy Kelly, kicked a goal, and it took about 30 seconds for them to realise, no, it wasn't touched off the boot. Happy, let's keep going. So
Technology.
I know, right?
It's taking over.
What about you? What did you see? Anyone stand out from you across the league?
Eliza West. Insane. I was scrolling through Instagram and I'd watched a bit of the game and I saw her getting a bit of it, and then I saw her ending statistics for the game. 28 disposals, but 24 of them contested.
Wow.
That's insane. And 10 tackles. She was just around it. And then obviously Hawks smacked them. So incredible. I think she's my player of the round.
Yeah,
There's been a couple, like Ebony Marinoff had a stellar game. Your girl Ghana did well as well.
Yes.
So.
Well, North Melbourne got the win, didn't they?
Yeah, so indirectly, my team. If you don't recall or you're just tuning into the first time, Seabass predicted Brisbane Lions, the ones who fell by, 50 points to my North Melbourne Premiership predicts. So that's why you're coming last in the online betting.
And the footy tipping. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, my tips were okay. I ended up getting 5 in the end, so that's not too bad. I'm 7th on our the
Out
game.
Out of how many?
13. That's not too bad. Yeah. What about you? What did you?
Great question. Thank you for the segue. I'm actually coming second.
Well, if you want to join us in tipping, you can download the app, The Game, or head to thegame.com.au and get involved. It actually makes it so much fun because I watched every game or kept an eye on the scores on every single game.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have to pull my finger out this week, though, if I'm going to crawl up the ladder.
I think for me, I'm just, I'm sitting nice, sitting pretty in second. Just wait for this week. It puts more stake on the games, I'll give you that much. I'm a bit nervous being an expert pick.
Well, we've got another epic round of AFLW coming at us this week. Round 2, both WA teams are going to be playing here, Eagles and the Dockers. Dockers are going to be playing against Adelaide on Sunday at Fremantle Community Bank Oval. It's their first home game. Looking forward to seeing them take on the Crows. It's going to be a tough match. You tipped them pretty highly in your where they were going to finish in the season, didn't you?
Yeah, I think Adelaide Crows are obviously a really strong team, but for a great showing in the first round. We haven't spoken about them enough. Incredible first game. So I'm really excited to go down and see what the Purple have to offer.
That's right. We can't wait to see them. We'll be there at both games. So if you see us, come say hi and give us a W. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Next week, we've got another awesome guest, Dockers All-Australian defender, Emma O'Driscoll. If you've got any questions you want us to ask, or if you've got any requests for players, just send us an email at Dubya at wanews.com.au. And don't forget, you can listen to and watch this podcast on YouTube Music. But to round it out, I think you should play us off, Rosie. Give us your best recorder nose.